Hi guys, I hope all of you are doing well. I'm Neeladri Mukherjee. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I practice in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and I'm the founder and the CEO of Nuvonation Immigration Consulting. 8 out of 10 times when people come to me for consultations these days with valid Canadian visitor visa, they ask this question as to I have a valid Canadian visitor visa. I will not be qualified under any of the PR pathways. My situation in my country is not great. Can I potentially ask for a refugee protection or an asylum here in Canada? Uh, and 10 out of 10 times, I could confirm that none of them are really aware of what really is a refugee, what really is an asylum, and their perception of threat or the challenges in the home country is very different as compared to what is actually being considered as real threat and the grounds of well-founded fear and the persecution, right? Not prosecution, but persecution as being defined either by regulations section 96 under section 96 and section 97 of the law. So just not to make it very, very complicated, but to just give you a general understanding is that a refugee, a conventional refugee, or somebody that needs protection has a well founded fear of persecution and that they have reached out to their state, which is their country, and the country is not ready to help them, right? Now, let's say, just to give you an example, let's say you live in India and you have some kind of threats that you have faced from, let's say, in New Delhi. You cannot come to Canada and say that, well, the Delhi police is not ready to help you because there is also a concept called internal flight availability, which means that you essentially have to seek protection from every other part of India. In this particular example, only then you can potentially make a refugee claim. So this is not as really easy as you think it is. And the general um, situation of the country, say economic decline or threat to general people's life, are not considered as threat to your life unless and until you are able to demonstrate that your life was being potentially impacted. Let's say you cannot really say that I have an earthquake. My country is facing through an earthquake and the government is not protecting with evacuating people, so I need help. You cannot really say that, well, my neighbor was shot by a gang member, so I could be potentially shot as well. That's no. Those are not the kind of threats. It has to be direct and it has to be, most importantly, genuine. The reason I explain this to you is because, yes, if you're able to sort of come to the port of entry and convince an immigration officer, maybe a basis of claim form may be filled in, maybe your case will then be going for the hearings, maybe you get a work permit for a few years, right? Think about the plan B. What if this is refused? And I could tell you the refusal rate, depending obviously from the country that you're coming from, the refusal rate for refugees or asylum seekers are astronomically high these days. And the way the government policies are going, the fact that the election is coming very, very soon, the rate would even go up. It will go up quite substantially. So the point is there any plan B for you? Because the moment you're being categorized as asylum seekers or refugee seekers and the claim is being denied, I could almost confirm that it would be very, very, very difficult for you to potentially gain access to any other relevant country, such as the US, such as Australia, such as New Zealand, such as Germany, such as UK. All the major countries will not give you an admission to entry because you have been a refugee claimant in another substantial country, right? So this is very, very important. Hence, in a nutshell, if you first of all go through section 96 and 97 of the law, first step, understand what is the meaning of well-founded fear, what is the meaning of persecution, what is the meaning of internal flight availability. Understand all those things rather than believing on the hearsays, rather than believing on what an immigration lawyer is saying or a consultant is saying or what your cousin has said or your friend is saying. My suggestion, go back, read the law, understand, and genuinely introspect and find out if you think you would be falling into the definition of a conventional refugee or somebody that needs protection. Only if you are 100% sure, then think about making the refugee claim. It is true if you are coming here to make a refugee claim at the port of entry, or if you have stayed here for a few months and planning to make a refugee claim at any IRCC center, right? The repercussions are the same. As I've said, refusal rate is astronomically higher, and in my opinion and experience will be higher going forward. So think twice. A visitor visa can potentially lead to many successes. So if you're not able to make a move to Canada through express entry or study, etc., refugee is not for you, may not be for you. It is for those that are actually fleeing persecution. It is for those that are actually have some well-founded fears of, like threat to their life. I'm not saying that all of the people that are coming in with the visitor visas these days making refugee claims have been denied. What I'm saying is that unless and until it's a genuine claim, in the end, it will not be accepted, and you would potentially be being categorized as a refugee claimant, which would have many negative repercussions in your life. If you need our professional assistance with understanding the process, understanding any of the questions you have, understanding any of the clarifications that you may potentially need, always welcome to book a professional consultation through the website, nuvonation.ca. I'll be more than happy to have a case-specific discussion with you to take a stock into a situation, and then you can decide the next best course of action for you. Hope this helps. See you guys in the next one. Bye now.